hook. She stood by the massive glass window of her penthouse, city lights twinkling below like fallen stars. Everyone thought she had everything: wealth, beauty, power. But on Christmas Eve, the only sound echoing in that $1,000,000 silence a broken bar was her own heartbeat. That was the night she whispered a question that would change her life forever. Can you stand by a broken bar for just one night? It was snowing outside, the kind of soft, slow snowfall that made the city look peaceful, even though she felt anything but. Evelyn Grace, CEO of one of the biggest luxury brands in the country, sat alone at her mahogany dining table, a table meant for 12, but set for one. The golden light from the chandelier shimmered over the untouched plate of food her housekeeper had prepared hours ago. She wasn't hungry, she was just a broken bar, tired, not of work, not of success, but of being alone. For years, Evelyn had been the face of ambition. She built her empire from scratch, sacrificed friendships, love, and time, all for the dream she once thought would fulfill her. But every year, as Christmas came around, the glittering decorations in her office and the endless corporate parties only reminded her how empty her life truly was. She glanced at her phone, hundreds of messages, all business-related, all cold. Not a single one said "Merry Christmas, Evelyn. Hope you're doing okay." She sighed, wrapping her arms around herself. She could buy anything in the world, a broken bar, except warmth. At around 10 p.m., a loud knock echoed through the penthouse. She frowned. Nobody ever came here without notice. Her staff was off for the holidays, and she wasn't expecting anyone. When she opened the door, a blast of cold air rushed in, along with a young woman in a red delivery jacket, clutching a small box. Her face was red from the cold, and her eyes looked tired but kind. "Sorry, ma'am," the girl said, catching her breath. "I know it's late, but I had one last delivery." The address said Evelyn Grace. Evelyn blinked. "That's me." The girl handed her the package, her fingers trembling. "Merry Christmas." Evelyn took it, hesitating. "Thank you. A broken bar, you a question mark. Leela." The girl smiled. "Leela Brown." She turned to leave, but Evelyn noticed her thin jacket, the way her breath came out in shivers. "Wait," Evelyn called out. "You'll freeze out there." "It's okay," Leela said softly. "It's my last delivery. I'll just walk back to the station and you'll catch your death in this weather." Evelyn interrupted, her tone softening. "At least come in for a few minutes. Warm up." Leela hesitated. She'd never imagined being invited into the Evelyn Grace's home, but something in the CEO's voice felt sincere, so she stepped inside. The warmth of the apartment enveloped her instantly. Leela's eyes widened at the luxury around her, marble floors, gold fixtures, art that looked like it belonged in a museum. "Wow," she whispered. "It's beautiful." Evelyn smiled faintly. "It's quiet," she corrected. Leela noticed the untouched food on the table and frowned. "You didn't eat?" "I wasn't really hungry," Evelyn admitted, shrugging. "Not much of a Christmas dinner when it's just me." Without thinking, Leela said, "Then a broken bar, why don't I stay just for a bit? I brought a cupcake from the shop where I work. We could share it." Evelyn blinked, surprised that nobody had ever offered her something so simple, so genuine. After a moment, she nodded. "Okay." They sat together at the long dining table, two women from completely different worlds, the rich CEO and the delivery girl who barely made rent. Yet, for the first time in years, Evelyn laughed. Leela told her about her little brother who believed Santa was real, about her mom working double shifts to pay bills, about how she wanted to study design someday but couldn't afford tuition. Evelyn listened, really listened. It felt strange, almost healing. When she told Leela about her own journey, the sleepless nights, the loneliness, the way success felt like a cage, Leela didn't pity her. She just said quietly, "Maybe you just need to let someone in." The clock struck midnight. Outside, fireworks burst across the sky, painting colors across the cold glass windows. Evelyn looked at Leela and whispered, almost shyly, "Can you a broken bar stay for just one night?" Leela smiled softly. "Yeah, I can stay." That night, they talked for hours about dreams, regrets, and second chances. Evelyn hadn't felt so human in a long time. When morning came, Leela had to go. She had work, bills to pay, a family to support. But before she left, she handed Evelyn a small folded napkin. "My brother drew this," she said. He said it's for whoever feels lonely this Christmas. It was a crayon drawing of two stick figures sitting by a Christmas tree, smiling. Underneath it were the words, "No one should be alone on Christmas." Evelyn's throat tightened. She kept that drawing framed on her desk from that day on. A year later, the world saw a different Evelyn Grace. Her company launched a new campaign, A Warm Hearts, Open Doors, a charity that helped struggling families during the holidays. And when reporters asked what inspired her, she smiled and said, "The girl who stayed for just one night." On Christmas Eve, as snow fell again, Evelyn opened her door before anyone could knock. Leela stood there, holding 2 cups of cocoa. Evelyn smiled. "You're late." Leela laughed. "Traffic." They sat by the window again, this time not as strangers, but as friends. A proof that sometimes, all it takes is one night, one question, and one act of kindness to change a lifetime of loneliness.